Okay, Mike. Now we're live. Yep. I'm looking on YouTube right now. We're live. Yes. So I figured it out. So it was just basically just, I think because I stopped the stream and then restarted it, it had a different stream code, which I needed to update the stream code. So it looks like it, and it looks like in about 2 minutes, we can get rid of the screen and go our screen, which I need to figure out how to do that. I can kind of do it this way, maybe. I don't know. Because I wanted to see us, not something else. So if I go to stop and I go to maybe this, no, no, I'll have to figure this out probably while we're live so I can see, you know, how I want the stream to look on a device, as opposed to what because me and you are looking at two different things. Like I'm sharing my screen with you so you can see all of this stuff that I have going on in the background. You know what I mean? Oh, well, that's even better. Okay. So I'm going to flip this over to us and see how this looks. So, yeah, this is going to be wild, man. This is going to be real wild. Interesting, wild, fun, scary, all in the same boat. But it's time to get this thing up and rolling. It's all right. Right. I'll have to send you the videos that I'm watching to get you to understand what I'm doing, just so you understand from it on that end. You know what I mean? So let's flip this over, and then it should be us. So,
Should I
yep.
put watch screen, hit that?
I'm not so sure if you should maybe do. I don't know because I don't want to screw you up.
See if the stream has ended. There it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, they can see everything I'm doing on my end.
No, you're seeing it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing everything that I'm doing right now on YouTube.
Okay.
So I have to figure out how to get this to where I want it done so you can just see my screen,
Right.
not what I'm doing behind the scenes, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is the beauty part of trying to figure everything out
Yeah, absolutely.
as we go. So if I
Well,
go
it's a learning process, so you know.
big, big time.
Yeah. I mean, this is like speaking German to me. So the sports talk's easy. This is the you know.
Right.
I saw a guy, he knows you. He said, you know, Chaz, Tommy. He's Chipper's buddy. Noble, Tommy Noble,
Oh,
Tommy
Goebel.
Goble, Tommy Goble.
Goebel. Yep. Good guy.
Yeah, he bowls in my duckpin league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll have to go back and do this. Share your screen. And then share here. And then options. Change stream. See, I'm trying to get this, just us,
Okay.
over here, so I can kind of
On two.
play in the background, and this is live. Right now,
Gotcha.
everything that you're seeing on this screen is
Uh
live
huh.
on YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah, everything that you see in this one over here, all of this is live
Wow.
right now. So I'm trying to figure that out, and I might have to just, you know, I'll have to talk to my brother-in-law and
Yeah.
everything like that too. So that's us. You see that little red button there? That's us. We're live
Okay.
right now. So go ahead and stream settings. Sort of. Okay, our connection's good. Okay. What am I doing right now? I'm playing on this end. Is virtual. Okay, let's stop doing that because I don't know what that did. Oh, look. Didn't blur him out. So what are you seeing on your screen right now?
Well, I have me and you, and then I have the sports dummies. It's what you're. Well, just it's just me and you right now. Um, when I click on the sports dummies, it's you and I. But the other one has just it's the well, there's a like a Chinese. There's a this there it is. I'm seeing all the YouTube stuff now
Okay.
on the third screen.
Yeah, I just did a whole bunch of bouncing around.
Yeah,
Right now it's still just
I mean it looks good. It looks really clear. Looks awesome.
yeah, it
I
looks
just don't know what all those numbers and whatever mean. You know.
kind of be one of those.
Great job, buddy.
So
I'm glad
here's
you
what I
ate.
think I need to do. Scissors. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm still gonna be messing around with this to figure this all out. All right, so let's just try to get to where I am.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
If you looked at that, took 2 videos,
Is that you?
Yeah, it was me.
I was gonna say. I know I didn't do anything like that.
No, I was looking at ESPN. See what the Pirates score was. I know they played today. They actually won a game. Not that I care.
Okay. So I have to go to yes or no settings. Output. Okay.
There's no gum in there.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, still trying to figure it all out. It's got my screen. So what if I went to that? Well, that's probably until I figure the nitty gritty out. That's probably the best that I'm going to be able to get this. Can I do this?
Okay, I won't eat it.
Yeah. Not much of it.
Well,
Well, at least I can kind of, like when people are watching and stuff like that, I can talk about the channels over here and stuff like that too and point that out. But
I'm looking at that.
yeah, you got a popsicle, cool dude. Yeah, for the most part, I mean, we can talk about whatever you want now. We're live. We're as good as we're gonna get at the moment.
Well, the one thing it's been like irritating me. I don't know what you feel about it. The whole Hayward situation.
Yeah. So I have thoughts on that, which
Yeah,
is one big
too.
thought. So let me give you my thought because mine's going to be pretty short and sweet, to the point.
Okay.
If you remember, and it wasn't that long ago, so you should be able to remember, the captain of our team, Cam Hayward, number 97, told a very eccentric Aaron Rodgers, you either want to be a Steeler or you don't, which made national news. I'm sure word got back to Aaron. He felt some type of way, whatever the case may be. I had said a long time before, I think there's a handshake deal in place. He's going to be here before the start, blah, blah, blah. That was all documented. I said all that stuff.
And guess what? You were right on.
Yeah, almost to the T, except for the fact he hasn't come
Right.
out and said, yeah, I had a handshake deal in place.
Right.
But now your leader, your star, your captain, is now saying, "Hey, I want more money," which you had just gotten last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. This is my whole gripe.
They
The
moved
paint's
money
not
around.
It's not even
Right.
dry right now. Okay.
Right.
You're 34 years old. You're not a top 10 defensive player like you think you are, and you have a pretty good.
Beat Santa.
There you go. And you have a nice contract. You know what I mean? I don't care. Listen, it happens every year. People make more money because they're at the end of their contract. You sign your deal, live up to it. That's it. Bottom line.
Yeah.
I don't think he has any leverage right now. I really don't. I mean, I don't know. If
you can only say that he has leverage because he's still one of the least paid nose guards or tackles in the NFL. I think
Right.
the two highest above him are making like 22 and 21 respectively. So he's like $6 to $8 million off.
Right. From what I've heard recently
that.
in the last 2 or 3 days, it's going to be take $5 million to smooth things out. Which again, the things he said, the things he's done, you're contradicting yourself, and the
Right.
ink's still not dry on your contract. So right now I'm in the Steelers' corner on this one. You know,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm a big firm believer too. If you outplay your contract, fine. And
right,
you can say that he's outplayed his contract. He's had the most sacks in the last 3 or 4 years than any defensive position, any defensive person in his position in the last 4 years. He's got like 30 sacks. So, when you take that into consideration and everything like that, has he outplayed his contract? Probably. And if he has, then you can go ahead and compensate him. But they already did that.
right.
But again, my point was is that you signed a contract. Your name's on that until the contract is up.
Yeah, bottom line. Or how about this? We'll do this. We'll make it on incentive base. What if you get hurt and miss 8 games?
Listen,
Guess what?
Mike. I've been saying this. I couldn't tell you how long. And players, go out and get your money because you're not going to make it nearly as much when you're done. So go make it now while
Right.
you can. But I think everybody should have a $5 million base salary, and based on what you do, incentives and everything like that, you can make up to $50 million a year. But it all depends on how you play.
Right. Bottom
You
line.
know? They're not
Yep.
these guaranteed contracts anymore of like Myles Garrett, guaranteed $230 million or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
if he goes out and just doesn't give a shit, he's getting paid regardless.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just,
And he's another one too. You want to stand 10 toes down and be on business, but when they wave that check in front of your face, you're like, I'll stay.
yeah, his whole thing was I want to play for a winner.
Right.
All of a sudden,
Trade-
the Browns are a winner.
Yeah. I don't care. Trade me. I'm out of here. I'm done. I want to go to a winner. Get me out of
Right.
here. And then what does he do? Here, we'll give you $40
Right.
million a year to stay. Okay, I'll stay. Thanks, everybody. I know I'll never win here, but thanks, everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Here's the other thing about that too. TJ got more than him.
Right.
Trey,
Rightfully so.
Trey, when he gets paid, will probably get more than him.
Right.
Micah, when he gets paid, will probably get more than him.
Absolutely.
So when you all start breaking this down, he's now the low man on the totem pole. And then what's going to happen in 2 years? Is he going to come out and say, well, I don't want to make 40 anymore. I want to make 48?
Right. Right.
It's like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes doesn't even make that much.
Exactly. Exactly, dude.
No, they gave
Like-
him a bunch of money up front. But
Right.
if you look at his contract per year, he's not even making that. I think he's making
No.
35,
Right.
28. But again,
Right.
because of his selflessness and the fact that he signed such a large deal, and they were
Right.
able to move money around and kick the can down the curb and pay more money up front to get it off the books and things like that to do the gymnastics that they're able to do in professional sports. Because of that, they're able to build a team around him.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, you pretty much just handcuffed the Cleveland Browns
Oh.
to try to make a deal with players that you probably want on your team but can't afford.
Right.
I
mean,
and
I mean,
and I have to. I know it might not be a good thing to hear for certain people, but Aaron Rodgers did us favor for the Steelers by saying,
oh, absolutely.
Sign-
1 year, 10 million. Come on.
"Sign me for 10 M's and I'm good."
Right.
And then
I mean, we
go build
still
around
a ton
him.
of money to use. Right.
Not to mention, we end up getting in Jalen Ramsey, who's been a menace in camp, from what I hear.
Right.
You get
right.
Jonnu Smith and Darnell Washington backing him up. Like,
Mhm.
can you imagine have a 3 tight end set going out there with those 3?
Dude,
Freiermuth, Washington,
yeah,
and
That's
Jonnu?
crazy.
My God.
That's crazy.
That's
yeah.
just stupid. I mean, goal
It is.
lines
It is.
and tush pushes should be ours every single time.
Right. A 6'8", 280-pound tight end. Come on.
Put him at fullback too.
Yeah.
So we're
No, on the other hand,
yeah, go
other
ahead, I cut you
Steelers
off.
contract situation, I don't mind, Boswell asking for a contract of some sort
He's due.
because He's due, right? Exactly.
He's
Different
due.
situation, different circumstance. So I don't mind that.
So I'm hoping that he came out and notice how that came out too. Very quiet, very under the radar.
Right.
Basically just said we are seeking a new deal. We're not demanding, we're not sitting
Right.
out, we're not doing anything. We are
Right.
seeking a new deal. So my understanding, the way I'm reading that is, hey, look, we're coming up. Don't forget about us.
Right.
We're gonna want to pay too. And knowing the way the Steelers are, they're gonna say, no problem. Let us get through this year. We'll pay
Mhm.
you. We'll pay you next year, or we'll pay you at the end of
Yeah.
this year, or whatever the case may be. When the cap's going to go up probably another 20, 30 mil.
Right. Not to mention they have a shit ton of money, cap space available next year. So
Exactly. So if that's
no.
the case, they're gonna kick this can down the curb, which might end up costing you a few more M's at the end of the year,
Right.
because I think JJ Watt said it too. He goes, the problem is that you're promising, and then when it's time to pay up, you could have got this guy a lot cheaper than what it was.
Right.
You know,
Right.
th-
Exactly.
and that I think that's what's going on with the whole Trey Hendrickson thing too.
Oh,
Is
me
that they
too.
they
I don't.
kept they kept saying we'll pay you, we'll pay you, we'll pay you, we'll pay you, and then now it's to the point where it's like, well, now you're going to pay me, and now it's going to cost you 42 M's.
Yeah.
Before you could have got me at 32. Now you're going to get me at
Oh,
42.
absolutely. And honestly, they have nowhere to fall back on because he's by far their best offensive player.
Well, yeah, that
Without him,
and that other guy, Shamar Stewart, he finally agreed to his rookie contract. He signed
right?
his fully guaranteed. I guess they gave up something, he gave up something in that negotiation deal. He ended
Right.
up. I think what happened was that he ended up letting the verbiage in the contract stay, but I think he got more money up front with a larger signing
Mhm.
bonus.
Right. Well, I think what lit that fire was the comment from the owner saying, "Well, if this guy goes to jail in 2 weeks, why would I give him a guaranteed contract as a first round pick? We know nothing about the guy, and that's what's made him go back to Texas A&M for a little bit, And I'm glad he signed, but again, I think it was a piss poor pick for them.
Right.
That's just the Bengals, organization, just being the Bengals. So
Yeah. It wasn't that rookie running back from Cleveland almost arrested this past week?
yeah, yes, yes,
I didn't read the whole story. I just saw that he was let go, and I was just like, whatever. It's Cleveland.
yeah, yeah.
It's just
Funny.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously we're not gonna. Well, we got a couple more minutes before Matt
Yeah.
might jump on here. He said about 10:45 ish. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see what he has to say on things. But yeah, I think for our first show, so to speak, next week probably the start. Because I mean,
Yeah, I was thinking you and I will do something on maybe Tuesday or Wednesday for the first weekend of college football, full weekend. Because there's some games this coming week, but next week's the big week number 1 technically.
oh,
You know.
so you're saying week 0 is this week?
Right. Like I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a few games this week, but nothing major on the schedule.
They just call it week 0 because it's
Right.
just the start. It's not really like
Right.
anything to write home about. Although week 0 last year was in Dublin with Georgia Tech and Florida State, and that was a banger.
Yeah, that was a great game. That was. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a banger. But that was week 0.
Right. So for week 1, you have Ohio State and Texas right out of the gate. Like
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
yeah. Game day is going to be in Ohio State, and that's
Right.
Lee Corso's last one.
Right. So you have one legitimate game next week between two top 25 teams, Iowa State and Kansas State. So other than that, though, Incarnate Word versus Nicholls State, Idaho State against UNLV, Tarleton State versus Presbyterian, Fresno State against Kansas. Nothing major. The next week's the big week. So
Hammer the overs in every single one of them.
oh, absolutely, dude. I couldn't agree more.
Every one of
Could
them.
not agree more.
Take the overs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even if we jump on a Friday like tonight, and before, because I'm assuming they're all on Saturday.
Yeah, they're all Saturday. Yeah,
So yeah, even if we jump on Friday, um,
yeah,
you know, or if we do during the week, it'll have to be like around 9ish, um,
right.
just so I can get home from football practice and maybe throw something down my gullet and sit here
Yeah,
for the next hour and a half or so. Uh, but yeah, as far as like getting, because we have this week the second preseason, next week's the next preseason, the last preseason, and then we're full.
we
We're
a week
full.
off.
Yeah, we're full send. So
Right.
we should probably at least get our first show in next week,
Absolutely, totally agree.
and you know,
Because that
start
Thursday's
going from
the
there.
opener.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and start going from there. Um,
yeah,
and again, I'd like to do futures. I'd like to do superlatives. I'd like to do, obviously Super Bowl, division winners, maybe over under wins and stuff like something. That we don't have to spend all show on it, but
right.
I'd like to hit it.
Yeah.
And then again, I don't know what you guys think, but I think winner take all, best spread. Because I mean,
Oh, I agree.
I think that's
Yeah,
just fun and entertaining.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because then you get,
Yeah,
especially if it comes down to two people, like at the end,
right,
it's like,
right.
well, I got to take the opposite of you on this one because I need the point.
Exactly, exactly.
So that
So
can
true.
that can get interesting.
Yeah, yep.
So, what do you think? You got any ideas?
I was just thinking like things we can add, like a last segment where it's our final thought. You know what I mean? We all have different thoughts for the week. It doesn't even have to be about football.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
Like I was thinking, like I know I'm excited for the September 13th fight between Canelo and um, what the hell is his name? Crawford. I think Canelo's gonna get his ass kicked finally. Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. So I'm really excited about that. Boxing has really done nothing lately. It's been more UFC than MMA stuff. Which I don't really watch much of.
No.
Um,
I said no.
but that card they have underneath that
No.
that night on September 13th is really amazing. There's like the
No.
3 fights where everyone's undefeated, which is pretty
This
pretty
is your last
impressive.
one. Don't ask me
And
again.
the 4th fight they've added between 2 guys who are Olympic boxers for their country. So, it's gonna be a good boxing night if you're a boxing fan. So, but I think like I said, something like that. By that time, by the end when we start going, football's gonna be starting. Hockey's gonna be coming around the corner. Baseball's in postseason form, and then other sports. So whatever the last word is, whatever you want to talk about. You know what I mean? I think it doesn't have to be about football or anything, but you know. And I think the first show maybe we do like 2 or 3 things that we think are going to happen, kind of off the scope of things. Not like for example, Alvin Kamara only has 500 yards rushing. He falls out of the top 30 running backs in the league, something like that. Something that you might think. You know what I mean?
Do you want to hear what's crazy? It's funny
Yeah.
It's funny that you just said Alvin Kamara too, because it just popped in my head.
Uh huh.
So, think about this. Najee Harris, in the first 4 years he's been in the NFL, has been 1,000-yard rusher all 4 years. Alvin Kamara has been in the league for 8 years. He's never broke 1,000 rushing.
What?
Telling you.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Neither would have
I mean, damn, he was a fantasy legend a couple years. Where but again, I wouldn't be surprised if he went over 1,000 receiving one year. You know?
Well, I think that is true. I think he has been a 1,000-yard receiver.
I mean, but that same team, the Saints team is going to be bad. They're going to be bad, and I just think this is going to be if someone takes him high, they're nuts. And speaking about Najee, boy, that situation was kind of a lot worse than we thought it was.
You want to talk about dummy of the week?
Right?
Dummy of the week. So
Yeah.
there's a segment right there. Who's our dummy of the week? Everybody
Right.
put your vote in on who the dummy of the week was. Doesn't have to be
Yeah.
football related either, but
Right.
Yeah, you want to talk about a dummy.
I mean, he's definitely missing week 1 from what I understand right now. So that's nuts.
It's
You know.
insanity. It's insanity. Um,
Speaking of that, how about the off season the Chargers have had in the preseason? Slater goes down, Najee's down. Who's their wide receiver they drafted and he stinks. He can't catch a pass. Their deep threat. They've been showing him in preseason just dropping everything in practice.
is it the kid from TCU?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I can't remember.
Like it's almost embarrassing. Wide open, just dropping balls. Like, wow, dude.
I can't remember his name.
And that's why they re-signed what's his name, right? Who went back to the Chargers? Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, how about this?
yeah.
Alvin Kamara again. I've just established never has been over 1,000 yards rushing. He's been
That blows
close.
my mind.
He's been close. 2020 he was at 932. Last year 2024 he was at 950.
Wow.
He's been close. 21 898. 22 897. Receiving has never been over 1,000 yards.
Really? Wow.
Yep, his best year was his rookie year, and that was when he ran for 728 yards, and he led receiving. Well, probably led receiving for running backs. I don't know, but he had 826 yards receiving.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a year. Almost 1,600 total yards. That's huge.
Yeah.
In fantasy aspect, with catches and receiving yards, wow. You know.
I'll be shocked here. You think 10,000 yards, and you're thinking, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Remember, he's had an 8-year career. 8-year career. Okay. And he's been dynamic receiving and rushing. Okay.
Right.
He is at math is hard. 10, 11,400 yards.
Wow.
I don't think that's a lot for an
It
8-year
isn't.
career.
It isn't, because think about it. So if Najee played 8 years and ran for 11 or 1,200 a year, that's 9,600, and he's getting 100 or 200 yards receiving, he would be above him. You know,
Right. That's wild to me, dude.
It's a wow factor, because you think Alvin Kamara, you're like, oh my god, this guy's a stud.
Right.
And realistically, you're like, he's really not. You know.
No, I mean, he's a fantasy stud in the
He
sense
is, but
of,
as a player,
he's a fantasy stud in the sense of touchdowns, right?
right?
Because he's basically a
Yeah.
touchdown guy. I mean,
Right.
the most touchdowns he's had was in 2020, COVID year. He had 16 rushing touchdowns and 5 receiving touchdowns.
Well, that last game, if you remember, he had 6
Yeah, it was
in one game.
stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he cranks out touchdowns from
Right.
2017
I
to
mean-
20. Yeah, from 2017 to 2024. So it goes 8, 14, 5, 16, 4, 2, 5, 6. So
Wow.
his last 4 years, he's taken a nosedive.
Right.
But
Right.
so has the team, like you said.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the team itself has, since Breeze left, like, forget about it.
Yeah.
You know.
And speaking of nosedives, what is going on with Matthew Stafford? Is he going to play?
Dude. So you're telling me he got an epidural shot last week?
Is he going to play at
That's
all?
not
I'm not talking about
So-
week 1. I'm talking about the season.
right. I mean, so epidurals, you're talking 6 weeks minimum, and that's for you as a patient walking around as a normal human being, not to play in the NFL. You know, and from what I'm reading, like, it hasn't gotten any better even with the shot. It's been a week
No.
already.
No, the coach has been saying, McVay's been saying, oh, he's going to come out here and practice. He's going to work with the team, blah, blah, blah. And he's coming out in street clothes. Like, there is No way
I was
he's getting on
on
that
the way
field week
home.
one.
I was on the way home last night, and Florio was on. I forget
Yeah.
what show. He heard possibly 10 weeks. He might be out.
So this brings my next point. So they were in the hunt just this past offseason for a brand new quarterback. What, am I mistaken?
Right, Kirk Cousins.
Okay, so
Hello.
I wasn't dreaming that, right?
Right. No, you're exactly right, dude. Yeah.
So at this point in time, you got to be kicking yourself in the ass that you have no backup insurance.
Right.
The
Who
only
is
backup,
their
their backup
Is it Garoppolo?
no, it's Stu Bennett. Well, I think Garoppolo's there still too, but Stu Bennett, the fourth from Georgia.
From Georgia.
Yeah,
Wow.
is it Stetson or Bennett? What's his? I can't remember his damn name. He was a stud to Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the one preseason game that I watched, I think he did pretty well from what I can understand, from what I remember. But don't forget too, if I'm not mistaken here as well, didn't Stu Bennett also why?
Is it Bo Bennett?
Stu Bennett apparently is a wrestler.
Let me see. Hold on.
Wade Barrett is Stu Bennett's his actual name. Oh, here he comes. The bald hurricane.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Yes. Stetson Bennett, Jeff. Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett. Okay, I was close.
Do you guys have a face for me or just my voice?
We just have a picture with your head on it right now.
Yeah, we just
That's
have
what I'm looking at.
we're looking at your gooning face as you're driving somewhere with sunglasses
Yeah, you're
on.
teasing. Uh-oh, something's coming up. There it is.
There we go.
Hey, we're back.
Now we got just your regular gooning face.
What's going on? Sorry it's late. Man, life is tough right now. I don't know what you guys are talking about if I'm just busting right in.
No. Let me catch you up real quick. So we talked about a fun fact that Alvin Kamara hasn't had 1,000-yard rushing season in his entire 8-year career, and we were baffled by that. Ever. Never been over 1,000 yards rushing. He's been close, but never been over. So then we went from there, and we started talking about Matthew Stafford and what's going on there and how crazy that situation is. And on top of that, what are they going to do as far as their backup? They had a backup plan in the offseason, which they completely ignored. And then now we're hearing all this stuff about Stafford and his back being all screwed up. And
right, he had epidural shot.
it's not sounding good over there in LA. And on top of that, who's going to take the snaps? Because it doesn't sound like he's rolling week one.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just week one I'd be worried about, but it's a few things.
I said the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, again, but I'm going to come at you from a fantasy perspective. Puka's a first-round selection. He's back-end first round in every mock draft. And right now, I'm worried about taking pieces from that offense. I mean, even Devontae Adams, maybe that's the piece you go for, depending on where he falls, because, I mean, he's still going to be touchdown dependent, I think. But still, I'm worried about if your quarterback's not healthy, and like you said, without a good backup plan, I don't know what they're going to do.
So, do you know who the backup is for sure?
Say who? Sorry, say again.
Go ahead, Mike.
Does Kirk Cousins come into play? I don't know. I'm sure. I'm sure the Falcons don't want him there anymore.
I don't
they
think
tried
personally.
to deal him, they couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely. I mean, he's probably going to get a call at some point this season if he's not already. Obviously signed by the beginning of the year.
I think the Falcons will have to eat some of that contract, though.
Yeah, they may have to, but again, if they're going to win in that situation, because that team who's going to be asking for Cousins is going to be desperate. So, obviously they're going to want to have to probably give up the farm in order to get him. So they'll take a hit salary cap wise for the first year, but I mean, he's not in the future plans anyway. So, but it's interesting. There's a lot of pieces are falling. A lot of guys getting hurt. Still a lot of question marks. We're 3 weeks away from the start of the season. So, it's rapidly upon us. I was trying to find the backup. Did you guys know who the backup was?
It's either Garoppolo or it's
Garoppolo, I think.
Or it's
Garoppolo.
Or Stetson Bennett.
Yeah. Stetson Bennett. That's their third guy from Georgia.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Garoppolo. And again, I mean, you still got McVay, calling the plays. So, It's not
Right.
like you're really taking like you would imagine that he's going to be prepared. I mean, he'll build a game plan around Garoppolo if he's got to use him
Right.
for a few weeks, which you probably have to, in my opinion. The way Stafford typically
Yeah, I
has
mean,
gone the last few years.
you're not dealing with an unproven player in Garoppolo. He started. He's won games, so that's good on their end.
Yeah.
But
He's a
long
deep
term,
ball for going to the Super Bowl. He's a
long
completion
term,
away.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worrisome. Did you guys get into any fantasy talk at all, or like drafts? I'm sure you guys
No,
are in
not
home
yet.
and stuff coming up, aren't
We,
you?
we were kicking around. We were talking about Hayward, about the Hayward situation. We're both
stuff.
kind of on the same page there.
Yeah.
Chaz brought up a great point. I'll let you go with that, Chaz. He brought a great point up. When go ahead, Chaz.
No, refresh my memory. What were we talking about that I had a great point?
You said, listen, when the Steelers were talking about signing Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
You said.
So
Yeah.
We're talking about all these giant contracts lately, and especially the Myles Garrett contract, especially. The one thing that you either love him or you hate him. Most people, by the sounds of it, they hate him. But Aaron Rodgers did us a favor by not coming here and trying to break our bank. Coming here and saying, "Hey, look, I'll play for 10. I don't care. I don't need 20. I don't need 15. I don't need 30. I'm good with 10. Give me 10 for 1 year." I don't think it's so uncertain right now to see if he only plays for a year or he has so much fun this year and they are highly successful and he says, "The hell with it, let's go one more," like Tom Brady did down in Tampa. So who knows? Maybe he is absolutely 100% done after this year. Nobody knows. I don't even think he knows because he hasn't even known he was going to play the next 3 years, let alone next year. So, but he's kind of set us up pretty well because he's not killing us, and because of that we were able to go out and get a Jalen Ramsey and a Jonnu Smith, and bringing in DK and even though we brought in DK first, but he didn't come in and want DK money for 1 year. And now we're able to do certain things and still build on this team to where, we could have been handcuffed like Cleveland's going to be for the next probably 5 years because they're paying a guy quarterback money. And you run the ball the opposite way and you take him out of the play forever. So, you can make him a non-factor.
Right. The one thing he hit on that really was I thought about too was Cam Hayward made the comment that if you want to be a Steeler, you'll be here. And you know what?
You either want to be a Steeler or you don't.
That contract you signed last year is still not even dry yet.
Right.
You signed a 3-year deal. Be a man, own up, play it out. I'm sorry. I don't care if he's in. I don't. That's where I'm at with this guy right now. He's totally contradicted everything he said. He's Mr. Steeler, but now it's about him. I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that. You signed a contract last year. Own up to it, because you're not one of the top 10 defensive tackles in the league. Defensive lineman, defensive tackles he is. I'll give him that. But right now it's going to come down to 4 or 5 more million. Will something happen? Probably. I just don't like the fact how he's contradicting himself so much that he looks like a fool right now. And the Steelers are kind of shutting down, and the team seems to be backing the Steelers on this one. There's been kind of players like, And now on the other spectrum of the Steelers, you have Chris Boswell, who I think deserves a contract, and he'll get one because he's one of the top kickers in the league. He's paid 18th or 19th. He's the lowest paid kicker in the division right now.
And
so,
one of the other points that I made about that too is that because Rodgers did what he did for us this year, and by coming in for such a low amount, the Steelers are able to go back next year or even at some point this year and say, "Hey, Boswell, look, you've outplayed your contract. You're clearly one of the better kickers in the entire league.
Who cares?
Yeah.
We're going to take care of you."
Well, for me, talking about the Cam Hayward situation, I feel like we have a little bit of depth on the defensive line, and some healthy guys coming back, I feel like, this year. So maybe the Steelers realize that too, and hopefully they realize that we just can't continue to overpay on defense. We're the only team that does that. We're the highest paid defense in the league by far.
Like $28 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
And that's ahead of the second place team. It's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, that being said, now the Rodgers thing, I don't have any. If this goes up in flames, and even if he plays poorly, I'm blaming Aaron Rodgers for this. Honestly,
No.
I mean, like you said, he took the contract deal to help us. That's a good thing. He seems to be saying the right things. I mean, again, I don't have much faith in Aaron Rodgers to begin with at this point in his career, especially. So certainly what he says doesn't matter to me. It's going to be how he plays. And that's yet to be seen because I just don't know how good the supporting cast is going to be. I mean, it's all going to come down to the offensive line. And our offensive line has been bad for years. So you can say it's injuries, you can say it's underperformance, you can say it's coaching, I don't care. But it's fact. It's been 5-6 years where we've been a bottom 6-7 offensive line. So is that all of a sudden, are we going to be a top 10 offensive line this year and protect Aaron the way he's going to need you to be at his most effective? I doubt it. So how long is it going to last? You know, how is he going to be able to survive back there? I mean, he better find ways to get rid of that ball super quick. I mean, for me, it seems like whoever's in the slot is going to get a lot of action because I don't know how much time they're going to have to run. You know, not sure how many go routes Metcalf's going to be able to run if Rodgers is not getting their protection. So I guess we'll see how that plays out.
I don't know. Like, I find that I'm in a weird place thinking about this now because it's like, obviously, Steelers need to do good, regardless. I mean, you know, because my life hangs in the balance every week with them. You know, what kind of a weekend or the rest of the week am I going to have, depending on how they do? I think that's just the way all Steeler fans just are throughout the season watching them. They live and die with them.
I just but they're going to go in every meeting room. I'm sorry, every first day of the week when they're looking at the matchups, and they're going to say, okay, how do we win this game 21-20? You know, and they're going to draw up the game plan based on that. You know, well, that's not going to. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Sorry.
And that's the problem with a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
You know, he's not thinking about let's put points on the board. He's thinking about let's try to keep points off the board.
And you know, the defense could be good enough where we could win most of those games, but that's not going to carry any water come playoff time. Even if we're in a position where, because guarantee it, we're going to have to go on the road in the playoffs if we even get to that point. We're already the third best team in the division right now on paper. We have the third best coach on paper, and probably no better than the third best quarterback on paper in our own division. So really, what are the expectations at this point?
So I have two real quick comments. I'm in the minority. I think the offensive line will be a lot better than people think, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good. I just think they'll be top. I think they'll be top half of the league because they're young, they're going to gel. I think we finally have the guys in their positions to play where they were drafted for. They're not switched and everything like that. That's a positive for me. And just a little tidbit. Chaz, you probably heard about it. Yesterday they had a scrimmage with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay tore us up so bad that their starters are not playing at all. Like, their first unit was supposed to play for 2 or 3 series. They're not playing because Baker Mayfield and Mike, what the hell's his name?
Mike Evans
torched them yesterday. So a little worrisome there. So, you know.
No, but again, that's a joint practice. That's when you're
exactly.
That's when you're trying things new that maybe a footwork, a
drill.
I mean,
right.
Those guys, they're running all base defense. They're running base offense. They're him and Mike Evans, Baker and Mike are looking at each other and go, hey, just run a go route. Let's just see what happens.
The funny thing was he beat the guy we got from the Jets, Eccles or something like that, the other defensive back. Ramsey wasn't even in the game, so I mean, you take it with a grain of salt.
I think you take all of that with a grain of salt. I think it's just all bullshit until week 1 starts and guys are getting paid game checks. I don't think
Right.
you put any stock into that. But my thing is like, what I was getting at too is that I'm almost proud of the Steelers right now because they weren't in free agency or coming up to the start of the season being lame ducks. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like they actually went
story.
out and swung the bat. They swung the bat as hard as they could and got what they got. And I think by far the best Steelers outcome we've had in the last probably 10 years of going out and acquiring talent.
The one good thing is it didn't affect our future.
Not really. I don't think it did. I mean, I think we have a John. Yeah, well, that too. That is amazing.
12 picks and $90 million next year in free agency will have.
Let's see how many picks we have by the end of this year.
Right.
I mean, we still have the trade deadline coming up. But Mike, like you were saying too, you're a little bit more hopeful. Thinking we're going to finish in the top 16. I'm excited. Here is the real year that where you can evaluate Broderick Jones to his full potential.
Thank you. Yes.
If he doesn't make it this year, if his numbers are not good, he's done. He's not an NFL player no more. At least he's not a top tier NFL player anymore. Get him out of here. Trade him. Do whatever you can to try to get an extra pick, a compensatory pick, another guy, something, because he's supposed to be playing his true and honest position this year. And and I hope nobody gets hurt, knock on wood, that he's able to sustain and stay there so we can get an actual evaluation of what this guy is and can be.
The funny thing about him, I've been looking into him recently a lot this past week. The guy started 14 games in college. Like, yeah, so I'm saying he has a lot. He was 22 when we drafted him, so he's 24 now. He's a young kid.
Right.
He's still learning.
I get it. I
maybe
do.
I'm a little more optimistic than most. I thought the center played well last year. I thought the tackle from North Dakota State played well. The guard, Theamunu played well. And we're going to see Troy Fontenot played well when he was healthy. That was a small sample size. So, we'll see. But there's a lot more that goes into that team about the offensive line. The offensive coordinator, the coaches, how good the defense plays. It's going to be listen, I have a bar set low for us at 9 or 10 wins max, so we'll see.
So, Mike, that's not a low bar. I mean, that's been who we've been the last so many years. That's been our ceiling. That's
our standard. The standard's the standard.
That's why I don't see it changing unless the offensive line comes together and we find that Roman Wilson goes nuts and Calvin Austin goes nuts and
I think
the ends go crazy. Yeah. Who knows?
That's plus or minus one game right there.
Right.
We're either going to be 9-8 or we're going to be 11-6. I think that's. I don't think we go 10-7. I think we could go either one of those.
I mean, Tomlin's in charge. Arthur Smith's calling the plays. It's like if a quarterback that's aging probably by the day at this point, offensive line that we're hoping everybody can stay in their position for the first time ever. It's a lot.
A lot of ifs. Yeah.
It's a lot to swallow. It's a lot.
And the Ravens are really good.
About how that, we agree they're all in, per se, all the chips. They spent money, free agency, whatever, got Rodgers, the whole deal. If it doesn't work, okay, I'm going to be the first one to blow it up. The TNT, just like old Coyote and the Wile E. Coyote and the Runners with the Acme explosion. Just give me one of those. I'll order one to the house, light that shit on fire, blow that shit up, it's over. I just don't know what's left. What other excuses are they going to be able to use that? What is it, Tomlin? If he gets to 9 wins, it'll be another winning season? Is it going to be, one and done? Is that what we're going to hang our hat on? What exactly is going to be enough?
So I really think if they don't win a playoff game this year, he's gone. I truly believe that. Huh?
With 1 year left on the contract after this year, you think he's going to leave? They're not going to fire him. So if he wins 6 games this year, they're not going to fire him. So they'll blame it on whatever.
I don't think they're going to fire him. I'm just saying. I just think the pressure on him if we make a playoff and lose in one game again, boy, man, it's not going to be good.
This was the first year that I heard a lot of ex-players really bang on Tomlin.
Ryan Clark was like very outspoken.
Yeah, not
I
just
love
one.
Ryan Clark too. He just
ex-players, current players, players that played for Tomlin, players that know football. It's not just analysts that are out there, having their opinion. These are guys that know Tomlin, that know football, that understand, that can see with their eyes when something's not right and has been not right for such a long time. And they've been calling him out now. It's been well over a year. So, I mean, whatever. Well, chips are in the center of the table. I guess we will see how things play out. But
what's crazy? What's crazy is I've seen analysts only praising Tomlin up and down. Coaches too, sorry. Analysts and coaches. But players and former players have been behind the scenes just ridiculing the shit out of him.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
You're right. Yeah. Yep.
So you got one demographic being, the analysts, the pundits, and the coaches who are just singing his praises.
Well, why do you think that's the case? Because they're going to be colleagues at some point. You don't think Tomlin's going to get into TV at some point and they're all going to be in the same frickin' studio together with these guys? That's their own little separate little clique. It's always been media versus the athletes to some degree. So, I mean,
I don't see Tomlin. A starring role in radio. He was always the star in that movie, in radio. So he'll be a movie star.
I don't think he goes to media. I don't think he goes to media when he's done. I don't know.
They're going to offer him so much money. Everybody's going to want a piece of Tom. That's all they talk about is how good he is in front of the mic and how much of a presence he has. And
how good he is in front of the mic. All he speaks in anecdotes. That's all he does.
Okay, but they eat it up. We just said all the analysts, all the guys on TV, they love him. Trust me.
Again, that's the case, but I don't think he does it. Himself.
Okay. They offer him Tom Brady TV money at $20 million a year. He'll take it. So, I mean, they offered what's his face all that money to come back with college that one more year. Saban last year. Yeah. So it's money talks. These guys they're egotistical. And Tomlin's not an old guy. Is he even 50 yet? He's probably around 50. So, he's got plenty of years left to make buku bucks. So, but whatever. Maybe we're putting the cart in front of the horse. We'll see how this goes. See how the year goes.
Everything's fantastic until the start of the season.
Yeah, well, everybody's got a chance until you actually see it unfold on the field. Not good.
Yeah.
Have you guys done any mocks yet, fantasy-wise?
I haven't.
No.
But I know like 3 players I won't draft. I can tell you that right now.
I'm a professional last place guy, so we're good.
I've done probably, I don't even know. I've done at least 50 mocks so far. I have a site. I've done a couple on DK, the paid ones, whatever, the best balls. I did just one today. I was bored. I've been doing one a day. But on the mocks and stuff, I have a site. It's, what is it? It's just Draft Simulator Fantasy Pros. It's real simple. You can set your own rules, parameters, whatever. So once you guys want to get ready to start about fantasy, I just want to get into approach. What some of the mistakes are that, maybe beginners, even myself, when I get into a draft, sometimes you get caught up in the moment and you lose sight on how to draft and what the smarter plays are instead of just, being aggressive at certain times or maybe just keying players and stuff like that.
Just from reading a few things and people love Genty in like top six already, which is nuts to me. A rookie running back.
Yeah, considering his first preseason game, what do you have? 6 rushes for 2 yards?
Yeah, and then you got a guy like who I won't touch with a 10-foot pole, Christian McCaffrey. I won't touch the guy.
Yeah.
We have no idea what he's going to be healthy, hopefully, this year. He's going to have all of his wind in him, but
it's not easy to predict that. I wouldn't be comfortable, with my first round pick, especially knowing that every year.
Depending on
I demonstrated.
Yeah. It depends on if anybody has a hard-on film or anything like that.
I won't touch either is Cooper Kupp. I just don't see him putting up those numbers in Seattle.
Yeah. year after year, the first round, and this is consistent over the last 4 or 5 years because I did all the research, is that half the first round selections don't hit value, and some of them miss terribly. I went through, and if you want, I've got the top 10 here, top 12 consensus first round picks, from the experts and whatnot. And it was easy for me to go through and pick out those 6 guys that I am not interested in. And you talked about it. McCaffrey is a back end first round selection. No part. Puka Nacua, we mentioned.
I'd probably have to argue McCaffrey as a round 1.
Oh, I agree. I don't think he's a round 1 guy. I don't
either.
I mean, that's where he's being taken. I mean, he's back end round.
Yeah, he's being taken anywhere between 8 and 10 from what I understand. But I wouldn't take him.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, not in a big spot there at all. Here's another guy in the first round that I'm not happy about, Derrick Henry. Now, I get how important he was to the Ravens last year and how good he was. I think he finished as RB4. But, again, I mean, if you keep going back to the well in most situations, it's going to come up dry eventually. And eventually the wheels are going to come off. They have to. This is the NFL. I don't care how big he is, how strong he is. You see all these clips. He's running up the hill. Care about that stuff. He's 32 years old with 1 billion carries on his back, as physical as he runs. So I also think that when you're doing this, when you're doing your ideas of certain players and stuff like that, remember, you don't win these weeks. You don't win your leagues in the first few weeks of the season. You got to look at where the playoffs start, week 11, week 12, week 13, 14. If the Ravens and they figure to be in the mix, are they going to be really pounding Henry when you need him the most 20, 25 times a game down the stretch? Probably not.
No.
Right? So you're getting first-round production from Derrick Henry, and you may not even get him at 100% in those last few weeks when you're going to need him the most. You can go to the draft and find lots of guys like that. So I'm focusing on guys, high-volume offenses, teams that have bad defenses. I use the Bengals as an example, or the Cowboys as an example. Their defenses aren't that good. They're going to rely on the offenses.
Oh, listen.
Those are the pieces I'm looking for,
If I'm number 1 in any league, which I'm not, Jamar Chase is my guy.
He's been consensus. It's
That's
tough
my number
to
1 guy.
take him, yeah. But, I've been doing a lot of notes, like I said, a lot of mock picks. I feel like this year's draft, there's a lot of running backs in that round 4, 5, 6 area. Mario Hampton. I'm really high on the kid from New England, Henderson, I think his name is. No, I'm sorry. Is it Henderson from New England? Yeah, Travion Henderson, really big on him. Even David Montgomery finished RB8 last year. I mean, everybody's pumping Gibbs in the first round. He's going inside the top 5. But Montgomery's going to roll. He's not going anywhere.
We got hurt last 3 or 4 games.
I know, and he still finished RB9. So you're looking at the low-end RB1, and you're getting Montgomery as probably the, 15th to 18th running back taken off the board. So you're definitely getting some value there. So I feel like there's a couple of running back, even the kid from Denver, I really like him.
RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey. What about Caleb Johnson for us? I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys that if you anchor a running back in the first 2 rounds, and then you go with your receivers, most of these leagues are 3 receivers or a flex, I feel like you can get comfortably one of these high ceiling guys like a Harvey, like a Hampton, like a McMillan, like a Henderson, and still feel pretty comfortable. I like Jordan Mason a couple of rounds later. I think there's good running back depth. Yeah, I think there's good running back depth in this year's draft.
I think this is some of the best in a while for running back, to be honest with you. This is a lot deeper.
Yeah, and I'll also say this too. I know maybe up until like the last 2 years, we were worried about rookies. And I know you mentioned it yourself when you talk about Genty. The impact of rookies has increased year after year exponentially. These kids are coming in now, and they're ready, and they're making an impact. And part of it is the business of football, because you're having to pay these guys. You want production. You don't have time to wait on a second round or third round pick. to be somewhat productive. These guys are being thrown in the fire right away, and they're responding. Last year, you had Powers over 100 catches, Neighbors over 100 catches, and they were on two of the worst offenses in the league. So it didn't even matter who was throwing them the football; they were still top of the league, and they were rookies. So what does that say about the incoming class this year for rookies? So I've got some faith in some of those guys. Certainly, as you go to your draft, I think you can get some value in those, fourth, fifth, sixth rounds. And again, as long as you're anchoring, those first 4 rounds with consistent plays with your, anchor running back, and then, some receivers and stuff. I don't know. I just think there's a lot, and there's value in the receivers as well. I love a guy like Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk averages going in the 12th round, Mike. And last 2 years he struggled with injuries. Okay, again, another bad offense. But in 21 and 22, he averaged over 100 targets, which is my marker. Because here's another statistic, I'm throwing a lot out there. Over the last so many years, and I've done all the math, is that I think 85 to 90% of the top 25 receivers that finish in fantasy points at the end of the year are all north of 100 targets. So the 100 target is the marker. And in 21 and 22, the 2 previous years, when Christian Kirk got hurt, he averaged 80 catches on 100 targets, over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns, and you're getting him in the 12th round. So, yeah, I mean, and Christian Kirk is going to be valuable, and that he's going to be a piece of the offense. They're going to use him. So, and again, more information. Get into statistics like I'll go Christian Kirk. He was 13th in separation rate over 125 qualified receivers. He's 22nd in route win rate. So his metrics are also good. So he's a good receiver, a veteran quality guy that just needs opportunities and stay healthy. Last year he had a collarbone injury, had a calf injury the year before that.
Stop doing that. Actually.
Yeah, you're right. We were talking about that. Yeah, and then he got hurt. So I'm glad he's not for fantasy production, because I wouldn't be talking about it if he was, but he's not, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities. And if he's healthy, here's a guy you're going to get later on, maybe 10, 11, 12th rounds, that could get you, definitely a wide receiver 3 production. So that's certainly something you can lean on down the way. So when I talk about, those sorts of metrics, get into those metrics for the receivers, separation rate, win rate. Those are important factors. They tell the story. Sometimes the environment gives you the numbers, like in his case, injuries, bad offense. Trevor struggled, and then he got traded to Tennessee. They struggled. But once you clean up that fluff, you still got a pretty good player, and is going to give you some production. So, very important. Did we lose Chad? Is he there?
Yeah, we lost Chad. Yeah, he got. I think he got body slammed by Russ, or I'm not sure where he went. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Hey, come back, buddy.
No, I had to just step away for a minute.
He was gearing up for
maybe. Would you have chili for dinner? Is that what it was? You had to break away.
No, well, first of all, I did have to go to the bathroom, but it wasn't number 2. Thank you very much.
Oh, it was number 1.
He was gearing up for Triple Mania tomorrow. He's speaking some Spanish to people.
I forgot all about
that.
Bro,
I just made it home, or else I would have got on 5 minutes early, because I had to go 3.5. I had to go 1, 2, and then mixture of whatever the hell else came out. So it wasn't number 1 for me. It was like, it was definitely 3.5. So, so I don't know if you caught any of that. We were just rapping about rookie influences and how I just think overall they've been such a factor. I mean, these kids are playing at such a young age, and the training they have, and the exposure to all the technology, and these kids are making huge impacts early. And I think it's going to be the same this year. I think there's 4 or 5 guys.
Let me throw a name at you guys, and I've had mixed thoughts on this guy just because of the team, the quarterback, their situation. Marvin Harrison Jr. I've seen him picked anywhere from 2nd to 6th round. It varies with this guy. I think about 5th or 6th round is about right for him. Like the wide receiver 2, 3.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Yeah. Now, granted, it's a very small sample size, because he was a rookie. He was a rookie last year. Right. Would you, at this point, consider him a bust?
No.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't.
Only because I think the quarterback made him. Matt was talking about win rate and stuff like that. Last year, beginning of the year, he was destroying corners. But what's his name? The short shit Murray couldn't give him the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, and plus his drop rate was really bad though. He was in the top upper half 15 to start the season. He was dropping too many balls.
I heard a quote coming out of camp about Murray where somebody had him mic'd up saying that there are passes when he lets him go that he does not see the receiver.
Well, tell
that
me,
he's
did you see the play last week?
Just based on feel, because again, height limitations, other factors. I mean, there's limitate. What are we on year 7 now with Kyler Murray, and we're waiting for what exactly? I'm not sure. Trevor Lawrence, another guy in the same boat. Year 5.
Waiting for him to retire.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many more years are we waiting for these guys to be something? Now, I know guys like Sam Darnold, guys like Baker Mayfield, they change environments, and obviously they've got talent, and, you see what happens. But Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. I'm not sure about how that's going to all play out.
Sleeper pick for me in that division, right there, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that division is so bad. And Houston has the injury bug galore.
Yeah.
I could see Jacksonville being better than people think. Not they're going to go to the playoffs, but they'll win more than 3 games, I think.
Well,
the defense was so bad last year, and I don't know if they had enough time to fix that.
But if you're a Colts fan, Chaz, you hit it. Danny Dimes are their week 1 starter. It's not Pete Richardson,
No.
Not
with that finger.
Do they make them better?
What?
Does he make them better? Who knows?
What?
I can tell you that I'm using Danny Dimes first week and DK as my quarterback, probably at 5,600 or whatever the hell they're going to price him at, dirt cheap, because he's going to run a touchdown in at some point during that game.
Oh yeah.
So he'll throw one, run one, get like 50 yards, and people will be like, "Oh, it was the Giants." They'll be like, "Look how good Danny is. It must have been the Giant." And that narrative can certainly play out week 1. So,
So one concern right now from a team, whoever Cincinnati played last week had their number 2 quarterback in Philly, I think. He drove down the field twice for like 175 yards of offense, scored 2 touchdowns against Cincinnati's number 1 defense. That's pretty scary with every starter in but Henderson. That's Tyler McKee from Philly. That's who it was.
Yeah. Well, that's why you need offensive pieces from Cincinnati, because they're going to have to score 40 points a game. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they may. I mean, they're good enough to do stuff, but
it may have been against the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th guys, but Skylar Thompson didn't look too bad.
Oh, he looked good. Yeah.
Yeah. He might have been playing against the fans in the parking lot, but he looked pretty good.
Hey, Mason looked good, man.
Leave it to the Steelers to have somebody kick a 90-yard field goal against them too, and fucking break the record.
You know what sucks? So the Hall of Fame is taking his jersey, but the field goal doesn't count.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts.
Preseason, because it's preseason, right?
7-yard field goal is a 7-yard field goal. Like, goddamn.
Whether it's regulation or not, it's still like it's going to count in the postseason. Why isn't it going to count in the preseason?
Exactly. Damn.
That's true. Well, that's fair. Well, I don't know. I mean, I give postseason a little more value than preseason, but I don't know. I mean, I guess
it's a kick.
I mean,
give it to him.
But you don't count tackles in the preseason. You don't count, passing yards or whatever the case may be. So, but no, certainly it needs to be recognized.
They're going to try that during the regular season. They're going to be like, "Hey, you nailed it. We're going to try to get you out there again."
That kick would have went from 75. It was solid right down the middle, man. That was
starting kicker. Is he number 1 on the deck?
He was number 1 last year. Yeah, from Arkansas. Yep.
So let's go back to Trevor Lawrence, because you guys were talking about it and then kind of just right over it. Shad Khan, he's building $1 billion theme park down there as part of Jacksonville's Duval County amusement with the Jaguars. There's no way that Trevor Lawrence is going to head that helm for much longer if he's planning on spending this much money on developing
again.
Right. I mean, the Trevor Lawrence project's got to be over after this year. If not, if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, it has to be over. Do we not agree with that?
If he's a good if he turns to a good quarterback, I mean, they're paying a lot of fucking money.
Turns into. You think that's going to happen overnight?
No, I don't. But
he's had plenty of time and opportunity to turn into a good quarterback, and it hasn't happened.
he's horrible. I mean, but he has Brian Thomas Jr. and I don't know who else over there. So
Well, that's great.
What's your kid? The rookie, the two-way player.
Travis
Hunter. Listen,
Travis Hunter.
he better play offense. I saw him play defense. He can't tackle.
Oh, I know that.
Not to mention,
listen.
he's so damn skinny. My God.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Otani.
Yeah.
They're going to use it for the offense, and then whatever they get for him on the defensive side, I'm sure that's what they'll do.
Well, they're already holding him out preseason 2.
Yeah.
Game 2, they're holding him out because he tweaked something or whatever.
Well, Caleb Johnson ran him over. he trucked him. He put his shoulder down and said, "Bye, see ya."
Boy, I was really high on the Bears coming into this year because of the coaching change, the weapons. I kept talking about how Caleb didn't turn the ball over the last 7-8 weeks. But I watched a show the other day, and they were talking about how the GMs feel about the quarterbacks from the other teams. And no bueno. Like, there were multiple GMs that said his biggest problem, which is a big problem for quarterbacks, is processing.
Yes.
He can make every throw. He's athletic. He's got the size, but
he couldn't win in Oklahoma and USC with offensive-minded coaches.
Yeah, processing is a real problem. And
did you see his preseason stuff where he was throwing the ball and he had a tantrum because he couldn't hit the net from 15 yards and the backup was hitting it like he? Listen, the kid's not. He doesn't have it.
Yeah. It took me a minute.
You're going to see their offensive philosophy come out and do a lot of single read stuff early on to build him some confidence. So again, this is from just a betting perspective and a DFS perspective. Maybe key in on running backs that can catch the ball in that backfield, whoever that's going to be at that time, whoever the slot guy is. And again, whoever is going to be, they're going to be quick passes. They're going to be just getting out of his hands quick. Not let him think too much, build some confidence, because I don't know what kind of skill set he has in terms of being able to sit in that pocket and get through the progression. Because if you're hearing it from every GM, that was the biggest thing they said, was they were not worried about his ability. And when coordinators mixed up just simple blitz schemes, he was lost.
Well, it's like you're right. It's like you reading Green Eggs and Ham. It takes you an hour. Like, come on.
Same thing. I get it. But I don't have the keys to $1 billion franchise. I just got to be able to find my shoes in the morning. There's a big difference. So
you can't even do that.
That's a struggle. Thank you. So left, right, left. What the hell's the difference? I cut my toes out anyway, so my feet just stick out. Doesn't matter. So like Fred Flintstone when I drive. Yeah. So it just. I may have to come back on that a little bit because I was looking at. I guess I was putting a lot of faith in Ben Johnson and everything he did in the offseason, upgrading the offensive line. I mean, it's in place for him to be successful, better than last year, and you would think he's going to get better, but maybe his ceiling is not what we thought or what they thought, for that sort of an investment.
I thought it was a bad pick from the get-go, just to let you guys know. I said that last year. I said it again. He couldn't win in college with two offensive-minded geniuses. So.
Now, flip side, so we're talking about quarterbacks and what the GMs were talking about. People, they're high on J.J. McCarthy. They, again, almost like a Jordan Love thing. Like with Jordan Love, you couldn't find tape on him for 3 years, and all of a sudden now he's, he is what he is. But McCarthy, the biggest knock for him coming into last year was a little bit of the processing. The game was quick. Obviously, he had the injury, but other things. But they've taken him a long way, and it helps to have a coach like that that's got the brains, that can develop talent, and realizing who they've got in the building. And I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be maybe just inside the top 12 this year in terms of fantasy production. And he's not on many radars right now. They just have so many weapons, too. Offensive line's a top 5 offensive line. Obviously, we know Justin Jefferson, other things. I like Minnesota's offense. I don't think you're going to miss a beat with Jaden.
So, I'm going by what I saw at Michigan. He was a game manager. That's what he was. I'm gonna give their coach O'Connell a lot of. He has a full year under his belt with O'Connell. I'm not ready to say he's a top 12 quarterback, but he has the tools with the talent at wide receiver and running back to be a good player. I just don't see him being anything more than game manager. But I remember in college, Chaz, you probably remember him at Michigan. He really didn't do much to win. It was running game and defense at Michigan.
Yeah. Well, that's what all Michigan's ever had. I mean, that's who they've been. It's easy when you get five-star recruits across the field.
I was totally stunned that he was a first-round pick. So to me, the jury's still out. I mean, that's just me, but I've read nothing but great things about the kid in preseason and last year. So,
I think the year off being hurt helped him. Honestly, I mean, it looks like he got the red shirt in the NFL for a season.
Yeah, and the one bad thing is Addison's out 5 games or 3 games for them, but he's suspended already.
Yeah.
He got suspended, Jordan Addison. So the jury's out to me on him, but it's going to be interesting. Caleb Williams, I stay away from him personally. Good luck to the Bears with him. They're going to give him everything they can for him to win, and if he doesn't, him and Pohl, their GM's gone. So,
well, again, if you're looking for production, I mean, Caleb Williams might not be bad because he's going to be playing from behind a lot. So he's going to be throwing out numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe not good numbers, but he's going to be throwing out numbers.
Right. Yeah, but also remember, if defenses are getting to him in simple schemes, when you know that the Bears are going to have to throw the football, it could get real ugly real quick.
Yeah. But that's the one thing for him, which is good, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't throw a lot of picks, am I right? He eats the ball a lot.
Yeah, he had 0 turnovers in the last 8 or 9 games of the season last year.
Yeah, he took too many snaps.
He wasn't blowing the doors off. I mean, they weren't like they were a top 10 offense, but he wasn't making mistakes like a Jordan Love was, who had an interception in every single game he played down the stretch.
He played a lot better towards the end of the year than he did at the beginning of the year for Ravens. He got comfortable and everything like that. And they started, again, which always baffles the hell out of me is that, sometimes players just don't translate as fast or catch up to speed as fast in the playbooks and stuff like that. When they're rookies, sometimes, they dumb down the playbook and make it, almost impossible for them to screw up. And then they get to year 2 and they have that sophomore slump. And it's like, well, let's dumb down the offense again. Okay? If we have to do that, we have to do it. Bring them along very, very slowly, even though you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, but still. If it comes to wins in the column, then let's get some wins.
Maybe we call it a sophomore slump, but maybe it's just giving them more because they're sophomores and they just can't handle it.
Right.
So maybe we're giving them the excuse that, it's gotten so much harder year 2, but maybe you're just not that good of a player.
I'd say the guy I'm really excited to see in year 2 as a quarterback is Drake May. I think that kid's going to be a stud.
Yeah. Me it's Bo Nix.
More talent around him, man.
Oh, yeah. Bo Nix for sure. Want to see what he is like this year. Because, again, that team.
Well, first of all, think how scary they are. They will have the top 1 or 2 defense in the league this year. They were already the top defense last year, and they added pieces. So, if they stay healthy, the defense is going to be probably one of the top defenses in the league. That helps a quarterback when you got the best defense in the league, because when you can lean on the offense to run the ball, control clock, you're in plus situations, that kid just descends even further. And when you got Peyton in that system, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like a win to me. I like Denver a lot this year. I like Bo Nix. I like Courtland Sutton. Not that I'm chasing those guys in drafts if they fall in a certain place, but production-wise and overall NFL-wise, Denver is going to be a formidable team this year. And they're going to be in it at the end. I really do. I think they got a chance to win the division. I mean, KC is going to take a step back, and we're all waiting for that to happen. Maybe this is the year Denver ascends and wins the division. So it's tough to win in January in Denver, I'll tell you that. Just no different than KC. Just as tough.
Matt, how's the weather in Miami with
it's hotter than Hades down here.
What's the weather like in Miami with the Dolphins? Because according to McDaniels, you're just one day closer to death, which is beautiful.
Yeah, it's not good. I predicted them on the other show that I did. They're going to finish 4th in the division this year. That's my prediction.
I'm surprised they're not going to finish fifth. They're going to be so bad.
It could be. I mean, Tyreek Hill, there's so much negative press and noise around him right now. Another year older. He's a speed dependent guy. We know eventually that's going to falter to some degree. I just don't know how much offense they're going to be able to produce outside of A-Chain. I would give him 30 touches a game, honestly, run him to death. And he can also play the slot and the ball. He's a phenomenal player. He's their best player. If the Dolphins run the offense through A-Chain and they can play a little bit of defense, then again, maybe they'll be competitive in some games if Tua stays healthy. But right now, the Dolphins fans down here have no faith in the defense, and again, are just hanging their hats on the ability for the offense to look like they do for at least a few games during the regular season. They look unstoppable. At least they did a few years ago. But overall, if you ask true Dolphin fans this year, they're not feeling pretty good about it at all.
Well, listen, when you go into the season with one of our cast-offs, Artie Burns was going to be a top 3 corner, then he's out for the year. Then another guy who they said was going to be a top 3, he's out for the year. So they were bad to begin with, and now they're, I don't know even who their starting corners are.
They lose Ramsey, they lose Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
you get Minka back, but what the hell?
Right, but what I tell everybody down here is that Minka, they're like, the quarterback of the defense. I get it. You still got to have playmakers. You have talent on that side that can be able to make plays. So he can put you in the right spot. But if you're getting beat or if you're not good enough, it don't matter what's in the right spot. The Dolphins are thin and not talented on defense right now. So
and they lost running back already, right, for the year?
Madison.
He's out for the year. He injured his neck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he already had season-ending surgery and everything like that. And the crazy part is you have one of the best wide receiver duos in the league, 1 and 2, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And we're still unsure if this guy that's held together with tape and bubblegum is going to make it to the end of the year.
But you know what, though? I think that receiving those two guys you mentioned, I think it's a little overhyped. And I'll tell you why. Because I think if you split them up and put them on separate teams, they wouldn't be as effective. I think we were so keyed in on McDaniel's offense, Tua's ability to be consistent in the pocket and accurate, and for them to have the pieces like they were just all over the field. But teams caught up to that very quickly. So if McDaniel was able to maximize those two guys for a short period of time, they got nothing out of it. They didn't get anything to better that franchise or put them in a better spot. If anything, they're worse off now than they've been. So, again, maybe they find something this year, and maybe Tua stays healthy, and maybe this and maybe that. It's a lot of maybes. I don't think overall Waddle, with his injuries, he's not a big guy. You've seen him. He's missing 4 games this year. He does every year. Hill is, again, 32 now, I think, whatever it is, and all the shit he's going through. I just don't think that can sustain. They lost Jonnu Smith. What's left? I don't know. Not much.
Considering your wide receiver duo, Jalen Watt, we've seen both of those guys in different places. And Jalen wasn't that great, but at least Tyreek was.
Yeah, but the Chiefs let him go for like a ham sandwich also. And I think they got a little tired and saw the running on the wall. And they didn't have anything in their receiving room at that point when they let him go. We were all like, this is the worst team.
By the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of somebody else then. Yeah, he
but
came.
You're right. Tyreek Hill, he was good in Kansas City, but they let him go pretty easily. So, but that was a contract thing to me.
Not only that, but Tyreek, he's almost like a one-trick pony. Like if you're not running him as a streamer down the field, then it's kind of like, okay, well, because he's a relatively small guy.
Yeah,
he's got the stature of an Antonio Brown, but he just doesn't get dirty like Antonio did.
Right, true.
Well, that was my point about the advantage of what McDaniel was doing, was using him like chess pieces. This guy's got this talent, this guy's got this talent, and they maximize those talents. They're moving them all over the field. But like independently, not as good, and if they're not on the field because of injuries, then what are we doing? It's just not going to work. So 0 points for the Dolphins. The fan base down here. You got the homers that are like, whatever, and they still think Marino's coming back. But
Well, no one's touching
My
Buffalo.
prediction, you told me right now, you said, give me the division. I got the Bills up top. I got the Patriots in second. I got the Jets based on that roster and the fact that I think they're buying in now. They'll be better. And I think the Dolphins are fourth.
Wow.
I could see it. It's going to be.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I think it's going to be
I'm
a
surprised.
tighter race between the Jets and New England than we think right now. But I think
I agree.
I think your assessment is probably spot on there.
Yeah. No, I mean the Dolphins could win 7 games and finish fourth in that division. You know what I mean?
Right.
But still, I just don't think that they're going to be in the discussion when it's going to matter.
Well, speaking of another hot team in a hot division, the Commanders don't look like they're stopping at all.
Oof.
The only issue that they got right now is Scary Terry and his contract situation. But other than that, they look like they are ready to roll.
Can I tell you something I found about the Commanders last year? They got a little bit lucky at times. Now, again, you create your own luck. But when I talk about regression, you have a baseline, and you got to figure, well, just because something happened last year, it doesn't mean it's going to happen this year. And the Redskins last year were number one in fourth down conversion.
Whoa.
They were number one in red zone efficiency.
Hold on.
So
you said
They're not the Redskins.
You said
They're not the
name.
Redskins.
Oh, I mean,
you said the
Commanders.
name. You said the name. Now we're
I'm
gonna
sorry,
get.
what are you going to do? So,
Look, Mike,
all right, the
Mike,
Commanders.
Mike. First
Yeah,
time we're streaming on YouTube, and we got a strike already because of this knucklehead. Oh God, it's gonna be a long year.
So the Washington Commanders, in parentheses, first in fourth down conversions, first in red zone efficiency. It's going to be tough to repeat that. You got to have a little luck on your side to be one in those categories, both of them especially. So, even if there's a little simple regression, they're inside the top 10, offensively they take a hit. I just think that you generally see, when you look at hindsight, that I don't want to say teams catch up to somebody like a Daniels, but they'll be a little more prepared this year. Schedule's going to be more difficult. Obviously, the Eagles are still in that division. So, I don't know. I mean, I like the Reds. I like the Commanders.
Almost did it again.
I know.
What's wrong with this guy?
I love Jaden Daniels, but I'm just saying they caught a lot of breaks last year. And it may be tough for them to get to that same level of success, knowing that, they were pretty close to perfection in some pretty important offensive categories.
I got to be honest. I think the one that takes the hit, I think it's Sirianni and the Eagles. I think they're going to be the ones to take the hit this year.
Yeah.
Just because I
kind of agree with you.
It's just
toughest schedule in the league. Their schedule's brutal.
Yeah, it's tough to repeat. It's it's hard to stay up on the mountaintop, and when you've been there for that long and everything like that, because they dominated all year last year.
Yeah,
they didn't slow down at all, and
they have a new OC.
And the fact that they are on a short off season, that's just I don't know. I don't see them. I think they take a hit. I don't know where they fall, but I think they take a hit.
Well, my worry for them is Saquon had 428 carries last year. Man, I love Saquon, but man, that's a lot to put on him, man. A lot.
I mean,
but the guy's a stud. The guy's a stud. I mean,
I know, but he's kind of fresh because
500 times.
but if you think about it, I mean, if you have a guy like Saquon, you feed him the ball,
right?
Not to mention you're paying him to be fed the ball,
right?
So, if you're paying him that kind of money, you better be giving him the ball.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the Giants didn't use him that well, so he's probably still fresh.
Oh, you're right. You're that. Speaking of the Giants, Jackson Dart had a really good preseason start.
Yeah, he's still not going to see the field week 1.
Yeah, he looked good for rookie in the preseason. He didn't play against anybody, but
Yeah.
I mean,
that's just like me saying Skylar Thompson was an all-star.
The one guy though was Carter. He was in the backfield.
Yeah, I heard that Abdul Carter was a menace.
Against the starting tackle, he was in the backfield 3 out of 5 plays, man, and they took him out like, "Get out, you're done."
Yeah,
we've seen enough.
We've seen enough.
Yeah.
What was he? 5 overall? Was he 5'6" overall? Carter.
Carter was 3rd, right?
33.
Third.
Right, because it went. Hunter went 2 to Jacksonville.
Yeah, it went Cam 1, Hunter 2, and Carter 3.
Yeah, he was 3. Yeah.
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 Cam had a good outing for the Titans too.
And then, you know what's crazy too is that I guess because it was already a lock that he was going to be number 1 and all this other stuff, you haven't heard any talk about him.
Zero.
Chaz, I was just going to say it. You haven't heard a thing. And this kid's probably going to – he could be Rookie of the Year. He's got the best potential to be the best player, for a quarterback position. I mean, that's another guy that could be inside the top 12, 15, whatever when it all shakes out, for a rookie, which is really good on the team. That's not very good. That's a good point about him as well.
So now it begs the question that the Titans knew they had to go with Cam Ward number 1 because they knew Will Levis's shoulder was screwed up.
Oh yeah, we even talk about that. Wow. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like there was things behind the scenes that nobody knew except for, front office and Tennessee that. Because we kept saying, well, what are they going to do with Levis? What are they going to do with Levis? What are they, how are they going to pick number 1? They just got this guy and blah blah blah. Well, we found out why. No more than 2 weeks after they draft Cam Ward, Will Levis is out for the rest of the year because he's undergoing shoulder surgery.
Yeah, crazy.
Tennessee has botched their medical decisions over the last several years.
Yeah.
With a few of the players. I was reading about the backstory on that. Players that have left that organization that have really had nothing good to say about, things that have happened in their careers, medical, surgeries and rehab and other things like that. And this is, the NFL, are they investigating this at all? I
haven't heard anything, but
where they were just
if I was a player though, and I felt that my rehab or something was not going right or I didn't feel right about it, I'd be going to getting a second opinion.
Definitely, I totally agree.
I don't think it's illegal for you to go outside the team doctor and go get a second opinion.
No, I don't think so. The opinion probably where it stops, though. I don't think the team would be too happy if you went and got a surgery with Miami's team doctor and you played for the Titans, But, that's something they'd have to work out internally. But, yeah, I don't think they'd keep you from.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but if he's the best in the country, I don't give a shit.
Oh, I don't either. I'm all about the player, but again, I don't know how these things are written. There may be certain stipulations, but anyway, yeah, that's whatever. Will Levis really struggled last year, and what do you have 6 pick sixes or something like that last year? It was crazy. He was a big number. So minus that, Cam Ward doesn't do any of that. Tennessee in a crappy division. Although I do like Atlanta this year. We haven't talked about them either. I like Michael Penix. I think he's in a plus spot too. And I think the fact that they got that defense, they picked up Floyd in the offseason, so they got an edge rusher now, and they ended up drafting 2 others. So they're trying to at least, what the Steelers should do, fix something. They went out and they tried to fix the defense, which is going to help the offense, take a little pressure off them. And I like Bijan, and I like Drake London, and I even like a little bit of Pitts this year. I like the whole offense. I really do. So we'll see how that all plays out. But yeah, give me some Falcons this year.
The jury's out for me and Penix. He didn't look good at all when he played. So, but he has the potential because he looked good both places he played in college. So I'll give him.
He just looks like a quarterback. He can. I don't know. Maybe it's just partial to lefties, but he just makes it look pretty effortless. When he's out there.
If I'm not mistaken, Drake London the last 4 or 5 weeks when he was in there was a top tier wide receiver with targets and catches and yards. So that's
Drake London in most of these expert drafts is middle second round.
Wow.
2.6, 2.7, somewhere in there.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Very huge potential. So huge red zone guy as well. In terms of target share in the red zone, he led that team last year in that. So that's not going to change. There's Chaz. I don't know if you were on. I don't think you were when I was talking about certain metrics for the positions that I like to look at and the importance of it, like receivers and stuff. We're looking at separation rate, route win rates, obviously catch percentage, other things like that we're familiar with. I think they tell the story better than the statistics, or at least they may define those. Because if you're in a shitty environment, like I talked about Christian Kirk about how he's been taken in the 12th round. And if you take out his last 2 years where he had bad quarterback play, really bad, and then injuries, when he was in a plus situation, he was averaging 100 targets a year, 80 catches, 1,000 yards. So, there are guys like that are out there that you can find, certainly fantasy-wise, that it's the player you're looking at and who the player is. And then if you can fix up the environment like this year, better quarterback, different coach, you would assume there's going to be positive regression. Kirk's the same guy. Okay, give me Kirk in the 12th round. I know what he is. The potential is definitely there. So I like Tennessee this year. I think offensively they're in the right direction in a shitty division. So I think it's them and the Falcons, going to the end. We'll see who stays healthy and who has better quarterback play. I think that's going to make the difference.
Who's their second wide receiver? Burks? Is that his name? Last name?
Traylon Burks?
Burks, yeah.
He got cut.
Yeah, he's cut.
Another injury.
Yeah, I was going to say he either got hurt or cut. Something.
He got hurt, and then they waived him with an injury. I'll tell you right now. Tennessee is...
So that means now that they're, Mike, while you're looking that up, that means now that they got Christian Kirk and who else? That's it.
I was looking at it too, Mike.
They have Van Jefferson.
They got Tyler Lockett in the offseason.
Oh, that's right. They got Tyler Lockett.
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. Yeah. That's the one bad part about the offseason and guys moving around. It's just you don't know where guys are at after a season. You got to go and look them all up again.
Yeah.
Right.
Love it.
Where is Christian Kirk? Is he still in Tennessee?
Houston.
Oh, he's in Houston now.
Behind a Tank Dell that's not going to be ready the first couple of weeks of the season. Yeah, so I'm all over Christian Kirk this year, like I mentioned. 12th round. Give me CJ throwing the deep ball to him. I'll take it all day long. All day long.
They have Nick Chubb. He's going to be starting probably because what's his name got hurt.
Yeah.
But
that is very thin.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ended up getting Mixon in best ball like late. He's starting the year hurt.
Right.
But come week 4, week 5, he actually has a day. I read the latest article where he's got a chance to be available for week 1. But where they took him, I don't even care. It's almost like last man standing type of thing when it matters. And Mixon can ball. So that's a spot where I can get really lucky if they're using him in weeks 11, 12, 13 when he's at his best and he knows, he's light on the tread by that point because they've got so much depth in that room. He could be a beast down the stretch. Those are the kinds of guys with high ceiling you're looking for, I think. 12 round, 13, 11 round, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I like talking fantasy football.
What else you want to hit on, Chaz? Or Matt?
Yeah, Matt, you said you had some ideas for formats.
You mean how we're going to set up our show?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, you guys are going to be watching a lot more college football than I am. That's a given, especially this next few months or so. Just got a lot going on. So that's going to be something you guys are really going to want. If you guys want to talk about it when we're on, then you're going to take the lead on that. Now, I'm aware of things. I don't not see things. But you guys are going to be much more tuned in with that. On the flip side of it, I'm into the DFS, the DraftKings, the daily stuff. The pricing, the strategy, all that stuff. So I spend a lot of time on that. And that could be somewhat that I bring to the table, because that's something that I work on. And you guys know the players, so you guys are involved too. But you may not have that specific DK mentality that I'm so focused on. I've been doing it for so long. So for us to come up format-wise, and maybe not in a specific order, but, we'll each handle a specific thing that we're good at. And we'll play off each other in all these different scenarios. And maybe set up something like that, So, wherever you feel your strengths are. Mike, your strengths are cheese, simple soups, stuff like that. That's what you're good at. So, creating simple menus for people that can't even find their fucking mouth. But, yeah, so that's good. At least you've got some skill set. It's important. Yeah, so so seriously, something like that. I don't know. Thoughts on that?
I could go.
Give me a crab rangoon.
Yeah, I could go for a simple soup.
Yeah. Give me a clear soup.
Give me cheese.
No soup for you.
Oh shit, that's great.
Give me some cheese on my soup.
There you go.
French onion. Oh shit, that's great.
That's great too. Because then when you're giving out your DFS picks and everything like that on here or during the streams and everything like that, there's little tidbits and stuff that you can find during the week or something that you think that are just like you have to hit on or whatever. You can always post those to the Discord and the fantasy channel where people can look those up on a weekly basis, and those are things that like we all need to be adamant and conscientious about when the NFL's going and we're giving out picks and stuff. We'll post them into picks. Bets, we'll post them into bets. The NFL, we talk about them. Injury news, things, trades, whatever. All that stuff goes in there. Not just to us, so we can stay up to date, but also in there so people just see what we how we interact with each other on a normal basis.
Yeah, I think we should do our picks like we do every week, and maybe if we're going to talk about the games, just focus on a few of the games because it'll take up a lot.
We talked about that, Matt. You're right.
We did. We talked about that. We hit on that a little bit before. I don't know if that was the last time we came on or anything.
I think I called you with that one, Chaz. I think I called you with that.
That's possible. But we discussed that as to where we get the highlight games, the games of the week or something like that. We talk about those in depth, and then maybe a Jacksonville Cleveland game. We're just like, this game happened. This was the final. Move on. So yes, what you're saying is exactly what we had talked about before, and we agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, certainly I'm going to post DFS stuff to the Discord. I'll also post, some props because I like to do the props because that relates to the fantasy. Those go hand in hand. So I'll definitely be posting stuff on there. So, and cheese, like you can do cheese. Oh, yeah, Swiss, Fermunda. I mean, all that.
Cheese of the day. Yeah.
So I'll add a cheese channel then, I guess.
There we go.
Tom and Jerry, baby. Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta get up.
I gotta get rolling here too soon.
I think me and Chad were talking a little bit real quick. Like the end of the show, we'll give your thought of the week. Something that doesn't have to be football related, fantasy related, just a thought. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I was telling him, like if we did a show today, I would harp on September 13th is like Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford, and two fights underneath that, all undefeated boxers. It's gonna be a great night for boxing. They haven't had a great boxing card in years.
Speaking of boxing, how about the UFC $7.7 billion deal with Paramount Plus? All of UFC is going to be free for everybody.
I know it's massive. It's massive.
I don't even watch
it so much.
Stuff's going to be huge. I can't wait. Finally, see some of these, these fights that I've been wanting to watch but couldn't because I wasn't paying $30 a pop.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Are we gonna keep the top 5 as well? Are we gonna incorporate that?
I agree. Yeah. Like I said, my top 5 for the first week, me and Mike will do it. Obviously you can do it too because you know about it. The top 5 greatest college hype songs.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I think that'll be a great one. We'll start out because week 0 is this week, and then
there's only a couple games. But next week's the big week.
Rap music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next week is the official, I guess you could say, start of college ball. So, and then after that's week 1 of the NFL and
fantasy football. We'll go.
We're off to the races here. We're going from doing one show every couple weeks to 2 shows a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have 3 drafts all on September 1st and the day before. I got 2 on that Sunday and then 1 on that Monday, September 1st. Those are my 3 money leagues. And then I'm going to get on. There's an NFPC national site that does all sorts of leagues. If you guys want to try one of those, from $10 to thousands of dollars to get in for the entries, you're going against some of the experts. So I might get into some of those as well, just to see.
Are we still thinking? What were we thinking? Like Tuesdays and Fridays for shows?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's tough for me during the week, those early days, because I work. So if you guys wanted to focus on, here's, again, just more ideas. If you guys wanted to focus on the stuff that you guys are really strong with, the wrestling, the college football, and do that on the other show, on the Tuesday show, and you guys can talk about anything you want, pro football too, but maybe focus on those other things. And then when we get to our Friday show, that's the NFL show. That's the big dog, whatever, type of thing. So that it's up to you guys. So
it's not a bad thought, because we usually recap or we go over the Thursday night game on Tuesdays.
Okay. That's your format. Yeah.
Since we don't put that in since we can't get that in our Friday show, it's already said and done. We try to hit that on Tuesday, so we're not missing a game.
We'll just get your pick and add it in with ours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that we'll put on the Discord. We'll have to put that on.
Right.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's
sounds good.
Sounds like a plan. Moving on.
Bad time.
So yeah, then I guess we'll plan for Friday at 9.
Sounds good.
Cool. Peace. All right. Well, we'll talk during the week too. You get some ideas. Go back and forth. We'll come up with a top 5 during the week too. Some ideas, because next week's our first show. If you want to do the college teams right away, then we'll pencil that in, and we'll make that
the first week of college football. I think that's a good start.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Work on that.
Yeah, and then our top 5 then for that show is the top 5 greatest collegiate football hype songs.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to sing one of them, so I'm going to get up and sing. So just be prepared for that.
Are you? You're going to sing for us?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm terrible, but I'm going to sing.
Oh, God.
Probably the Notre Dame song. I haven't decided yet.
Well, is it going to be a combination of Fergie and Jesus?
They're not alma maters. These are the hype songs.
Like
jump around for Wisconsin. Okay.
Gotcha.
Those those college songs that just go banana land for all the colleges when you hear them. Like, it's signature to them. It's almost like Renegade for the Steelers.
Can we agree not to do the Tomahawk Chop for FSU, or is somebody going to put that in there?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm
That's
not.
kind of...
No. No.
I'm out.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys. Yep, we'll talk soon.
Yep.
Enjoy the weekend, boys. See ya.
Later.
See ya.